Millions of people in Florida are fleeing their homes in the final hours before Hurricane Milton races towards the state's west coast. Currently, Hurricane Milton's outer bands have reached Florida, with time running out to escape. U.S. President Joe Biden has warned that the landfall of this deadly hurricane is a matter of life and death. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association sent hurricane hunters who flew their plane called Miss Piggy through Hurricane Milton over the Gulf of Mexico. The hunters made it through major turbulence to collect important data on the storm. Within the past 24 hours, Milton has strengthened from Category 1 to 4 hurricane. The storm is expected to make landfall in Florida's central coast, where it could be one of the most destructive storms on record. U.S. Weather Office predicted that its eye wall could come ashore in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, a residential area in Florida, is home to around 4 million people and is along the hurricane's path for the first time in over a century. National Hurricane Center warned some areas of central Florida will get up to 18 inches of rain, with a high risk of life-threatening flash and urban flooding.
If you can leave, please. Just go. Find a shelter, a neighbor, somebody. Go inland if nothing else. You know, just get out of Tampa. Try to get out of Tampa.
Well, we were ordered to evacuate. And if anybody knows anything about Florida, when you don't evacuate when you're ordered to, you can pretty much die. You know, they've had a lot of people here stay at their homes and they end up drowning, and, you know, it's just not worth it. You know, the house can be replaced.
The satellite image on your screens show the time lapse of the Category 4 storm, with over 1 million people in coastal areas under evacuation orders, with those fleeing for higher ground clogging highways. Most Floridians are still recovering from the devastating impacts of Hurricane Helene, which wreaked havoc less than 2 weeks ago. Let's now talk about this hurricane. Our correspondent Susan Teherani is now joining us live from New York. Hi, Susan. We did have Ron DeSantis, who's the governor of Florida, saying, and I'll just quote him, while there is the hope that it will weaken more before landfall, there is high confidence that this hurricane is going to pack a major punch and do an awful lot of damage. Quickly give us up to date, or give us the latest update from there.
Right, and we also heard again the mayor of Tampa saying that if you decide to stay back, you're basically sitting in a coffin, in really harsh words. And then officials last night were saying if you decide to stay back and not evacuate the Tampa area and its surrounding areas, then write your name on a part of your body, basically, because they're so sure that, you know, people won't be able to stay alive in a storm that's expected to go up to 15 feet by tonight. And then on Thursday, as you mentioned, it's going to really hit landfall with a Category 4. But the winds are going to continue to stay very strong, 160 miles per hour. But I will say, Eric, again, there is that concern that not everyone has a place to go. And so it's going to be very difficult for people who haven't left already to try to pack up and leave on the one hand, and then you have those roads closures and, you know, the traffic on the other hand. But again, the warning was that if you decide to stay, the worst may come during the dark hours of the night, early hours of the morning, Thursday morning, early morning, Wednesday night. And that's the main concern, really.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. That is our correspondent, Susan Teherani, live from New York. Susan, thank you. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.